The docket is closed, the S1 is filed, and Goldman Sachs is already on the cover page. OpenAI beat Musk, and now the IPO clock is running in public.
Welcome to Musk vs. Altman Daily. I'm Devin, that's Cassidy, and today we're done with the trial chapter and into the one that actually has an $852 billion number on it.
Reuters and AP both have the dismissal on the record. Latches, not the merits. And they're both calling it the same way. Obstacle to IPO, removed. So let's walk through what closing the docket means legally, and why Musk's sworn testimony about XAI may be the most durable thing left from this trial.
And the part Musk wanted a jury to answer never got answered. Now, the only room where it might come up is an SEC review, and that has a September deadline.
From Reuters, the docket is closed. Reuters is flat out saying today's dismissal removes an obstacle to the IPO. That's a wire service treating the legal story and the financial story like the same story, which, fair enough, they are.
And Reuters didn't wander into that by accident. The S1 is already filed. Goldman and Morgan Stanley are named. September is the target, and the valuation is $852 billion. The case died on latches, but the IPO machine was already moving.
Right. And the claims that made it all the way through document 390 to trial, breach of charitable trust, constructive fraud, they didn't lose on the merits. They ran out the clock. No court has said OpenAI's mission drift was legal. That distinction matters for what the SEC sees in that S1.
Musk testified under oath that XAI trained Grok on OpenAI's models, and the jury never touched that on the merits. Now it's locked into a closed case record. He wanted public accountability. He got a technicality and a $1 trillion IPO as the consolation prize.
Barbara Ortute, writing in AP News.
A jury on Monday found that Elon Musk waited too long to bring claims accusing OpenAI, under Sam Altman's leadership, of abandoning its public benefit mission as it moved toward a for-profit structure. The 9-person advisory jury determined that the claims against OpenAI and Altman were barred due to the statute of limitations. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers accepted the determination and dismissed the claims.
So the governance fight we were headed toward trial on has a verdict now, and it's procedural. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers accepted the advisory jury's finding and dismissed the claims, not because OpenAI's charitable mission was vindicated, but because of latches. Musk sued too late.
3 weeks of testimony in Oakland. Musk on the stand, Altman on the stand, Satya Nadella showing up. And the jury never actually answered the question Musk came to ask. The mission drift argument didn't lose on the facts. It got tossed on the clock.
Which means the sworn testimony, including Musk saying under oath that XAI trained Grok on OpenAI's models, is now a permanent trial record sitting in a dismissed case. Reuters and AP are both framing the dismissal as clearing the runway for the IPO, and that matters. The confidential S1 filed May 22nd with Goldman and Morgan Stanley, targeting September at around $852 billion, is where the governance question goes next.
$852 billion and a September date on the calendar. That's what obstacle removed actually means. The court didn't say OpenAI's mission is intact. It said Musk was too late to argue otherwise. Those are very different things, and the SEC gets to sit with that distinction now.
Here's crypto breaking news.
Elon Musk appeared in federal court in Oakland as testimony began in his lawsuit against OpenAI and its leadership team. Musk told jurors that the case extends beyond a business dispute and focuses on how artificial intelligence companies should operate. He said advanced AI could create economic benefits while also bringing risks if companies fail to follow their original goals.
Let's be precise about where this sits today. Musk's testimony that the case was about AI accountability, not just a business grudge, is now permanently fixed in a dismissed case record. And Judge Wang has already confirmed copyright plaintiffs can use it. He made the argument under oath. The jury never ruled on the merits because the claims died on latches, not because he was right.
And that's the brutal irony. Musk got his day in court, said the quiet part out loud about public accountability for AI companies, and the jury's answer was basically, you waited too long to sue. The mission versus profit argument he wanted decided, Reuters is now calling the dismissal an obstacle removed for a September IPO at $852 billion. That's the verdict the financial press issued.
Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are named underwriters on the confidential S-1 filed May 22nd. So this isn't a Wall Street rumor anymore. It's a live SEC review clock. The two masters governance problem that was theoretical a week ago is now a material disclosure question with a valuation number attached to it.
And Musk also testified under oath that xAI trained Grok on OpenAI's models. That line doesn't disappear just because the case got dismissed. It's sitting in a decided record that copyright plaintiffs already have access to. He handed them something durable on the way out the door.
From the AI Journal.
OpenAI IPO filed a confidential S-1 with the SEC on May 22, 2026. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are leading the process, and the company is targeting a public market debut in September 2026 at a private valuation of roughly $852 billion, with analysts expecting that number to climb past $1 trillion at listing.
The AI Journal piece pins down the numbers on a moving target. Confidential S-1 filed May 22, Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley leading. A September roadshow, an $852 billion private valuation heading toward $1 trillion at listing, and the company is projecting $14 billion in losses for 2026 alone, with profitability not expected until 2029 at the earliest. And the timing matters legally. Musk's case was dismissed this week without any merits ruling on mission drift, so the S-1 lands with that governance question still unresolved by any court. Exactly the kind of thing an SEC reviewer circles in red. If you follow Musk v. Altman daily, you may also like Anthropic Pentagon Watch, a daily briefing on Anthropic's fight with the DoD over Claude, military AI use, autonomous weapons, and AI procurement blacklisting. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll find links to every story we talked about today in the show notes. If one caught your ear, that's the place to dig in a little deeper. That's Musk v. Altman Daily for this Monday, June 1st. This is a Lantern podcast.